Welcome to the 20th round of WTSS Season 7. We're at the Lady in Black in Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. One of the most uniquely shaped racetracks in the entire world is egg-shaped because they had to design the track around a fish pond all the way back in the 1950s. And now, here we are as it's evolved over the years. Every single year, drivers come to this racetrack thinking, yeah, this is going to be the year. This is going to be the one where I've got it around here. And they throw it into the wall and get that famous Darlington stripe. A double points on offer night here at Darlington is going to shape how this championship goes as we enter the final third of the championship schedule. Darlington was the season finale track in WTSS Season 6, in which we saw Mark Nutt get crowned champion in front of the entire championship. But now, with the America's leg not being the ending of the season, it ends off the second third of the season, and we will be with 10 races to go after tonight. Logan Hill first out onto the racetrack. Once again, 10 minutes to set your times and be able to see where you can start for tonight's event. The first real representative lap time is on the board from Logan Hill. It's a 29.679, which means that from this point onwards, everybody's going to try and beat that lap time, which I don't necessarily think is going to be too hard of an offer here, because normally the first lap time of the session is the not the quickest, and as we can see right now, some really fast times being put down already. A 17.399 from Tristan Wilhoit, the benchmark to beat at the moment, but immediately gets usurped by Voiles, and then Logan going back to the top with a 29.080. So we will definitely see some 28-second laps tonight. One thing to note about Darlington, tire wear. You want to talk about tire fall off? This is tire fall off in track form as Wilhoit goes back to the top in the 17. You get about 3 or 4 good laps in these tires, and that's about it. We're going to see these guys improve very, very quickly at the start of this session, and until they come back in to get fresh tires, I don't know if we're going to see any more improvements from that point until then. Voiles puts it down to a 28.82. Tire fall off around here at the farthest point into the run can be upwards of 2 to 2.5 seconds, depending on how well you've taken care of your tires. Strategy is going to be extremely important at a track like this. And as we see Voiles having a few challengers here, some more people have cracked into the 28s, but nobody has been able to set a time quicker than him at the moment. Coming into this race, after last week in Homestead, Ryan Reed still manages to keep the point lead. As we now are we about to enter the final 10 races of the season, and he has managed to cling on to that point lead this entire time, through thick and thin, through good luck and bad luck, and has a 31-point lead over the rest of the competition coming into Darlington. But with tonight being a double points on offer event, it's going to come down to being able to maximize the result when everybody else is also trying to chase points. On a normal given weekend, Ryan Reed would be entering tonight with only 4 drivers tonight that could possibly leave, 3 others other than him, with the point lead. Those would normally be Sean Angel, Jeff McLennan, and Yuki Tamura. As Roberto Crown Jr. in the 46 puts it on the top by nearly a 10.5. The rookie trying to get his first career pole just after Fingai Saitomi's most successful weekend in their WTSS existence last week in Homestead. But now, as I was saying, with this being a double points on offer night, it goes from being 4 drivers that could leave at the end of the night with the championship advantage to a whopping, and I can't believe I'm saying this, 11 drivers could leave tonight with the point lead if circumstances fell their way. Of course, a lot of those drivers are extreme long shots. It would have to be exactly as the script was written. But to be fair, we've seen crazier things happen in the WTSS in the past. Roberto Crown Jr., though, has had a very quietly good rookie season. It's been probably exactly where he needs to be, honestly. He's basically dead center in the championship. He's 21st in points coming into Darlington. And after a career best 3rd place in Homestead, it's definitely, there hasn't been any lowlights really for him all season, but a lot of the time he's been pretty anonymous for the most part throughout the majority of this campaign. And the second Fingai Saitomi car, the rookie, really starting to come into his own here. And if he can score a pole position at one of the toughest ovals on the entire calendar, that would be a real statement of intention for not only the rest of this season, but quite possibly, if he's back around at Fingai Saitomi next season, a real statement of what's possible in his sophomore tour. Up to 2nd place now is the 83 of Chris Louviere, who has been a bit of an oval ringer this season on the big speedways. Somehow, someway, he enters this weekend the 6th in points driver. He's got no wins on the tour, but his average finish on the big speedways is inside of the top 10. He has a single-digit average finish on the big ovals. So this is another huge opportunity for Louviere, especially knowing that the track type that features the most throughout the final 10 races of the season are speedways. And so Louviere looking like a possible dark horse for the championship now, as he comes into the pits to get some fresh tires to make one last push for pole later on in the session. Some other people have also pit for tires. Now, the big difficulty with the track like Darlington, like I was mentioning with the tire fall off earlier, you may come in for fresh tires to set a quick lap late on in the session, but that doesn't mean that the traffic on older tires might cooperate with you. Will Hoyt just came out on a set of fresh tires, set a new best time, went to 18th quickest, but now he's got some major traffic ahead of him, and I don't know if he's going to be able to set any more new bests. Championship leader Ryan Reed is doing everything he needs to once again in the 8th position. A top 10 start would absolutely give him an opportunity to maximize his championship advantage and still be able to keep that point lead exiting Darlington. Still, nobody's been able to usurp Roberto Crown Jr. at the top of the times. Towards the back half of the field, not really many shockers, but one of them that is a shock is the 28 of Mitchell Mark, who finds himself 32nd quickest right now, and a driver who has had such a good track record on the big speedways this season. That would be an absolutely devastating chance gone for his title hopes. Every big speedway he can't capitalize on is going to be even tougher for him to make a title chase, even though he enters this race in the 5th position in points. Like I was saying with Chris Louviere, he's one of those drivers that really is eyeing up the fact that a majority of the races left in the season are the big ovals. Jeffrey Fingai comes up to 7th quickest in the 92, and Fingai Saitomi, fresh off of a 1st, 3rd in Homestead, are now 1st and 7th in qualifying at Darlington still. It's still early on in the session. Well, not early on, but it's still early on in the weekend, so obviously things could change from here. But right now it's looking promising, at least for short run pace for those cars. We're in the final minute here of this qualifying session, and we will begin standby after that minute is up. There are some people out there on fresh tires, including Chris Louviere, who looks to have at least a chance at some clean air here. I would not say that Crown's pole is safe. Not 100% safe, at least. But as we come off of turn 4 here, standby about to begin. Louviere getting the tires up into the temperature window. Oh, but he's going to catch James Gibson in the 75 as standby begins here at Darlington. Does anybody out there even set a new best on their last tour of the session? DeMax nearly does, but I don't see anybody else out there improving. Nobody so far. So we all come across the line. Louviere, that traffic from Gibson was enough to stop him. And as all the rest of them come over the line, no one out there set a new best time on that last tour, which means that for the first time in his WTSS career, the pole position here at Darlington is going to go to the 46 of Roberto Crown Jr. And Fingai Saitomi's run of momentum continues, as the 46 will feature on pole for the first time in its existence as a car in the series. The rest of your top 10 is Chris Louviere, Daniel Voiles, Shrimp Engritz, William Duncan. Then it's Kyle Bichelia, Jeffrey Fingai, Ryan Reed, Chris Dodd, and Logan Hill. Benyako, Gibson, Krasta, Stevens, and Curtis, your top 15. The rest of your running order is as follows. Disappointment for names like Mitchell Mark, Huji Yan, Yuki Tamura, and Sean Angel. Big names in the championship picture, all starting in the back half of the field. 150 miles, 110 laps at the Lady in Black is going to be led by Roberto Crown Jr. for the first time in his career here at Darlington. Let's get to the race.